Okay, let's talk about my 2007 Yamaha Vmax. Well, there she is. It's actually a muscle bagger for me. Once you get kind of used to using saddlebags on a bike and you don't have many more, you kind of get stuck with where to put stuff. So what I was able to do is buy a Corbin seat along with the backrest and that little trunk, and it didn't come out too bad. It actually sort of looks like it came as a set between the trunk and the two saddlebags. Unlike the Honda, I didn't do a whole lot to it. I did change out the pegs, original stock exhaust, because, well, I don't like it too loud, but when you go ahead and twist the throttle, man, it can get pretty darn loud in itself. I tried to use a bunch of small dress-up chrome bits on there, like anything where the Allen screws are. I was able to get those stainless steel push-in inserts, Ace Hardware, but they're not the cheapest in the world when you buy them one at a time. Keep it really clean. It's only got about 10,100 miles on it. Down here in Florida, a lot of people like to pull out in front of you. They actually take one look at you coming at you if you're at like a T intersection, and they see your headlight, but they pull out on you anyway. And what I found down here, what works pretty well, is if you have three headlights. Well, that would look kind of stupid on a Vmax, so what I did, I basically got the engine guards down here where I had the highway pegs. And I've got the lights down there. They're actually from Kiriakin. One there and one here. So I still get that triangular effect with the headlight. And honestly, since I've done that, I have no one, absolutely nobody, pulling out in front of me anymore. For some reason down here, people have a hard time with depth perception with one headlight. But when you have three lights, whether it's kind of set up like the Honda, where all three of them are up front, or if it's set up over here with like the Yamaha, where you have two at the bottom, one on top, as long as you have three, it seems to work pretty good. Okay, let's see here. Changed out the grips. The other ones were just too small. I didn't like them. Added these little covers here. Stock mirrors. Little windshield there. A lot of guys say, whoa, what does that do, Tank? Well, on the highway, it gets rid of the chest blast. So I don't feel like I'm hanging on for dear life on the highway, since I have kind of a big upper torso. And I'm kind of like a giant sail going down the road. So anyway, that gets rid of all that, so it makes riding a little bit easier. Of course, down here in Florida, we have beach sand everywhere. And no matter where you're driving, you're always getting sand blasted. So I have to wear the full face helmet and a mesh jacket whenever I ride this bike here. So when it's really too hot, 100 degrees or 105, you know, that's after you take into consideration the humidity and all that stuff. It's just too much, so I kind of wait for things to cool off. Down here again, the same thing, just some little inserts on the Allen heads. I did have a couple of those little chrome knobs down there left over. They were actually for a master cylinder on another bike, but they fit really well on those bolts here. Kind of dressed it up a bit. And let's see here, of course you guys all know what a Corbin seat is. And the flames, they come standard on the 2007, and I did add that little clock down there on the main nut. I kind of like that because I kind of like knowing what time it is. I just do. I don't like always wearing a watch, but I kind of like to know what time it is. So I don't just like to wear a watch, though. I like to have it built onto the motorcycle. So there again, you've got the saddlebags along with the trunk. Kind of looks like it goes together. And in the back here, when I actually got those bags, the bags are from a company called Vmax. He only builds stuff for Vmaxes, so those things were actually designed for this bike. He gives you all the mounting hardware. He gives you everything you need to relocate your your turn signals to the back down here. And in a prior video, I talked about that little deal there. That's a 6 LED light that takes the place of that reflector. Pep Boys, AutoZone. I think I paid $5.99, so I bought two of them. You don't even have to modify that space that it goes into. The mounting hole's already there, along with a hole for the wire, and it's really nice. That thing there is now about 8 years old, and it just still hasn't worn out. Many years ago, when I first got this, there was an aftermarket company that actually sold like a $69 LED, special for the Vmax. Yeah, would that last a year? This darn thing's been on there forever, man. It lasts a long time. So, anyway, like I said, that's the trunk there. This is the bike. And I just love it. Those of you that have a Vmax can appreciate the power, which makes it always makes it fun. And the extra horsepower is always a major plus. I do love my Honda. But every now and then I need something with a bit more oomph, and that's why I had the Vmax. Again, when you talk about keeping a bike clean, to me it's just easier. If it gets dirty, all I literally do is put a good high quality soap on it, rinse it off, and then I have kind of one of those air raid type dryers I blow it off with, and it works pretty well. And it's really easy to keep clean that way. If you let it build up and let the dirt go ahead and get in there, it eventually gets so hot it destroys the paint on the engine. You're sitting there scrubbing and scrubbing away, and you just never seem to get the damn thing clean. So for me, it's just a lot easier to keep it like that. That, along with my messy shop here, only kidding. For us, the garage is not a garage. It just happens to be an extra room in the house we just happen to keep vehicles and tools in. That's why it's kind of all decorated up like that. Have everything up there. I've got Indians, got some Harley stuff up there. Don't own either one of them, but they're just really cool metal signs, so I have a lot of that stuff up there. Anyway, like I said, as far as I'm concerned, the garage doesn't have to be that gross place you keep your vehicles in. It can actually be an extension of an additional room in your house that you just happen to keep your vehicles in. Right now the wife's Saab is out, and of course there's the FJ just sitting there. Oh, and let's not forget the folding trailer. Anyway guys, that's about it. Just wanted to share a little bit of stuff with you about the Vmax. Of course, what garage wouldn't be complete without a beer fridge?